This is quite a lineup, so let's see some no limit. Switching over from the short deck. Timothy, Trueteller in the mix. Seth Davies. Kyle Burns, who's on quite a heater these days. In the lead, Jason Koon trying to get on the board. Ivan Leow, our man at the feature again.
All right, regular Holdem. Bog standard. Flushers don't beat houses anymore, boys and girls.
All right, so everyone with the pair here. Burns has the king of spades, which he's going to... it's nice to have. More just takes away those flatting Broadway, which there wouldn't be many anyway, but yeah, Jack 10 suited, or yeah, if it was, let's say it was Queen 8 of...
King 10 of spades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say if it's Queen 8 of hearts, you know, he's going to... He doesn't block any of that, and so that's more likely, but this is a spot where it's sizing. This is one of those tricky hands with King Queen where you hit the board. You know that Kyle Burns is capable of firing some worse hands here. Ivan's got a hand you have to imagine is sort of whatever. He's in the big blind, coming in third, so don't have to worry about him. And in that scenario, Ben is maybe thinking, oh, he is going to fire some stuff. That's worse.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh shit. No, Ben needs to miss, really. Both pick up gut shot straight draw on the 10 of diamonds turn. Obviously, they both block the nuts. Not the best card for Kahle to see, right? He can be up against King Jack. He can be up against, I guess, Queen 10 suited. Can be against Ace 10. Does check in, and Jeff, no reason for Ben to do anything here but check back, right?
Yeah.
You're either miles ahead or miles behind in this spot.
That's a pretty good rule of no limit. When you're in the middle there, it's good to check, and if you think you definitely don't have the best hand, or you definitely have the best... Oh, wow. No.
Well, this table is Ben Heath's table, let me tell you. That board's got worse for Kahle. And that is literally the worst card of the deck from, isn't it? The Queen after the turn's gone check, check.
You had any other action lately?
Have the King of Spades as well block some of the flush draws.
People on party.
Leow or something, yeah.
I don't know who they are. They didn't tell me. Some actual.
I mean, you go for a little bit of value against an ace still here, like a blocking kind of bet.
No bad players.
Well, he's gone pretty big, 36. I don't know, Jeff, if my mindset's still in short deck and I'm just paranoid about everything. You know,
yeah,
like, we are playing no limit. I mean, Ben has an ace a lot of the time here.
He's not horrible.
Yeah, I mean, he's better than any 10-20 pro, so.
Yeah.
Does this... I don't know, what does this sizing achieve against Ben Heath?
Maybe he doesn't let him raise.
Does it stop him perhaps raising a hand like this? There we go. Here we go. Exactly that. That's what I was wondering there, Jeff. If he goes smaller, Ben has to raise hands like this. When he goes a little bit bigger, he gets more value from a worse ace, and he also stops himself having to call a raise.
Oh, it's like
million HKDs, yeah. But there's a couple of them. Of million HKDs. There's like a short deck and maybe 2 full decks.
Okay. That's nice. Something big.
Maybe like a 2 million HKD.
I love it. Ivan, he's had to sit out for 3 hands whilst it's actually begun on without him. He's straight back in there.
And this is one deep enough. I think Trueteller versus Ivan, who knows is very capable. It's in position. You know, it's actually a hand you don't really love just peeling, but...
You think against Ivan, he's just going to make an adjustment. Well, he does give it up, but yeah, certainly a consideration. He could make the adjustment against Ivan. From the cutoff. This is pretty spicy. And again, Trueteller in a pretty tough spot. He had ace-queen before, raised under the gun, got 3-bet. Now Seth coming after him. Obviously goes a slightly smaller sizing.
He can't fold, though, for that sizing anyway, and he might be debating to rip it or just call.
Right, and the sizing obviously doesn't have to be as big. Seth is 3-betting off a what, sub 40 big blind stack. is going to get peeled though, and Jack 8-6, couple of hearts, not a flop that I can imagine Seth continuing on.
I think he has to bet small here.
Well, you got it. He is.
Right, because otherwise, I mean, it sucks, but it's like you're just literally giving up that pot if you check. And Trueteller, this comes down to a lot about hand reading and just also what you think Seth's capable of. And if you call, will he shut down? If he does have ace queen or ace king,
I mean, this just has to be cool. You didn't really enjoy it pre. You don't really like it now, but I can't imagine giving up. Yeah. Wow, he does. Well, I'm surprised there, Jeff, but I mean, and if Trueteller's folding the 10s there, then good bet from Seth.
Yeah. You know, you gotta assume these are most of the best players in the world in tournament poker, and you just gotta wonder, like when Trueteller or Jason Koon and Nick Petroland, I always get his name wrong. Nick
Petrangelo.
Petrangelo. I had some trouble with that in one of the streams. You look around at these guys and Stevie, and all of a sudden it's like, where does the ego come into play? Like, do they think like, all right, so and so's in the field, that's good for me, or that's a washer? Like at what point, Mateos, like where do you start thinking that you're just like have an edge?
My question in that is always when I look at these high rollers, isn't it? How much variance can these guys withstand? Because even if you think you're better than someone else in these fields, the edges are really small.
Yeah, you're playing 50 and 100Ks and going a bad 4-stop spell, like, which is not crazy, right? It's like that's expensive.
Well, look at this. Trueteller went barreling with the weaker flush draw. He's actually got there against Ivan on the end.
Yeah. I go up to Banff and see Nick Petrangelo's place. Want to see Bend, Oregon. Want to hang out in Vancouver.
Now.
I like the Bend idea.
He's finally made the better hand.
Bend.
But is Ivan going to bluff him off it?
Bend's great in the summer, dude.
Dude,
can't wait to be back.
David Benefield, man, he needs to have a bachelor's party.
Let's do it.
It's not going to happen unless we make it. That'd be great.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Timothy sort of shook his head. Not me.
Question me?
Limitless online, I believe that's right, but I'm not positive.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, Victor Malinowski is indeed limitless, as far as I'm aware.
Yep, I believe that's true.
Ben, limp Jack 6, facing effectively a 4x. What do you think about getting out of line here? Does continue. I don't know what the cutoff is here, Jeff, with hands going to limp call. If Jack 6 gets in it, wow.
What a flop. Oh my goodness.
Wow, wow, wow. We're going the distance with this one. Right, Ben's...
They're going small.
He's gone small. Like Ben's limp calling range just hits this quite a lot. No, obviously quite happy to take a turn card with top pair and a flush draw, but we're seeing spots pop up, Jeff, where both options are possible. Wow, a turn card that almost kills it.
Feels the hearts are good, and Jack is in the lead a lot. Interesting.
Wow.
Gives him some rope here.
This pot could have been a lot bigger. King, queen, queen 10, king 10. All hands that would have carried on. You say some missed hearts. I'm just still kind of perplexed by that bet size from Victor on the flop. Just this kind of texture. You normally see people go bigger. But
it's a long hand.
yeah,
well
and it's going to go for a little bit longer because we know a raise is incoming. Because I don't think Ben would expect him to bet so small on the flop with such a strong hand, right? I don't think Ben thinks Victor has many
time bank card's sick too. I think if you're Ben, you're thinking he's thinking about hero calling, and then you're going to see a raise.
Yeah, I was going to say the overbet is a sick line because he doesn't really have strong hands here. You'd expect him to keep barreling if he somehow bet a 9. I mean, the only thing I will say is Ben can have plenty stronger, right? Ben can have a straight Ben can have a house himself.
Show the deuce.
That card on the right there has a mark on it.
Speaking of being the guy with ace-ace,
Yeah, of course.
Phil Ivey wastes no time in finding the aces. I can only assume he's just regged with that starting stack of 200k. And Jason, with a very playable queen jack in the big, is going to defend against his good friend.
I feel like a lot of bricking sometimes, even though it's like half an online day for the whole trip.
Yeah.
But you break the whole thing. You, like,
They stretch the pain out over a few days.
Queen
feels
10-5.
like you've been bricking for long.
Jason's going to lose some on this one, unless he gets lucky.
No tournaments at all. Especially for me, I'm open
It hurts more when you click the real.
So it goes big, 15 into 24.
10K to 25K.
On a board that doesn't really need to go this big, Jason's going to have a lot of hands that can't continue, so he's trying to knock out maybe some 5x and some smaller pocket pairs. Any other hands that would fold to this that wouldn't fold it to a smaller bet. Brick on the turn. Rainbow board. Looks like he's continuing to go big. 40 into 54. I don't care if you got top pair and a heads up pot. You're already starting to not like it. First hand of the tournament. Phil Ivey. He's got aces heading to the river
Can I get drink
with a
service,
pot-sized bet back
Thank you.
behind. Of course, he has to show a little bit of restraint. Jason would play all his better hands than aces the same way. It goes big again, 100k. And this does feel grim for Jason. The bad news for him is he has a jack. He blocks the bluffs.
I mean, pretty rude to fold.
Yeah, I mean, he faced two
Yeah,
big-sized bets. I think he only has a queen by the river.
So stupid, but
And he does flick it in. Ivey with the aces, very fast start, up to 370k on his first hand. I'm not going to try anything against the goat. Phil flops best on Jack 7 deuce, but it's all spades. Another spade rolls off. This time it's the 4, giving Kahle a leading pair. Ivey improves a 2 pair on the end. And is going very thin. That's 5k. Kind of surprising, because I don't think Kahle ever checks jack on this flop. But he gets him.
2 per.
Ace 8. Certainly a hand he's going to play. And we are moving things up just over 4x. These two very deep. Over 100 bigs deep. Phil, a little stock take.
Jason, do you know if they have a plunge pool here? They have a sauna and steamer.
I don't think they do.
It's like Phil just piece out the chips for a call. once again, these two see 3 spades on the flop. And Kahle, unknown to him, actually is just a smidge ahead. That's a scary board to continue on. Phil, having peeled that 3-bet, has plenty of Queen X. Has all the pocket pairs. We have some flop flushes on this board. Phil decides to bet this one.
It's all about your mindset.
Well, Jason gives a little speech, then calls it off with King Queen. Ivan has him crushed with Ace King.
Yeah, it could happen. Probably not.
You did start calling for the Queen of Spades early, so.
All right, heart's dead.
9-6 deuce.
10 for fun. All right.
No additional
Ivan,
outs.
you used my money well. Okay. Good luck. Hold up, I think I cover.
I think you do.
I'm going to count it down.
95-5? Okay, there's 95 and 5.
So,
That's
graphics
right,
out
yeah.
of fraction. Kahle Burns, Phil Ivey leading the line on our feature table. Big drop off then. Everyone else below a starting stack. Aaron Van Blarkham, Ivan Leow, Timothy Kuznetsov, Jason Koon rounding it out. Ivan, very happy to take this 3-way with 7-8 of clubs, and well, he flops a flush draw on Queen Jack 3.
You got as much patience as you?
No one.
Nobody has that much patience. Yeah, not that much.
Alan Kessler.
Oh, don't get everything. That's not my model.
No.
Ivan's going to lead out on the turn when the Queen checks through. Wow. Phil makes the call with no pair, no draw in a 3-way pot. He knows his man, but this is a little ballsy. When you've got the 9 of clubs, kind of the worst card to have when you're calling here. You block flush draws and you block straight draws. The board runs out safe for him as well. I mean, wouldn't advocate this call on the turn, but if you know it's going to come on a Queen on the river. Check, check. Phil scoops one up. Phil Ivey can do no wrong today, it seems. Ivan raising the hijack, 10-9 of clubs. His nemesis finds it. This time really finds it. Pocket kings. Taking it up to 34k.
34.
Yeah.
Ivan calls. And this would make a good short deck clash. Wow. 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 Ivan flops the straight and a straight flush draw. Kahle flops top set. Yeah, well, these two have been throwing jabs for the last 2 hours.
Finally gonna go snowboarding.
They both actually have it now.
Tomorrow for the first time, finally.
Are you?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna play.
Oh, is
gonna
tomorrow
go in the
50K
morning.
short deck?
Yeah. I'm just gonna go.
Nice. We get another short deck on top of the 100K.
Yeah.
Ivan just check calls
50K.
with his straight and flush draw.
I really
Brick on the
think
turn. Checks it to Kahle once more. Who, well,
that. And then, 50K. No limit.
bet any size now. Ivan appears to be
Limit check, that
committed.
was me. And then after that,
Another 50K?
come on, I just figured you needed to catch a couple more.
No, you
before
can't
left.
play the 50 page. You'll be at the final table.
The T50, yeah. Get set over setting, get ninth place, and come.
Yeah, I think we can use the same structure, just go 30 nuts or 50.
He bets 2/3 of Ivan's remaining stack.
Same thing.
Ivan,
1K discount.
do a little Hollywood. Not really necessary, but he's going to relish this one. Kahle's been bashing him up.
Still in one of your super hard bowls. I would really like that.
The snap, he turns over a set of kings. No good,
Yeah.
I'm afraid, my friend.
Those are two big ass hands.
Big ass flop.
King of clubs, 8 of clubs, not outs either. They would give Ivan the straight flush.
Much better check.
It's true.
Ivan's sick. Give this man quads. Is what
Yeah,
Ivan's
give
saying.
me the king of clubs, huh?
There it is. Ivan,
Nice hand out.
well, it was down to about
How much are
50k.
you?
Back to over 300.
I got 10.
There's been some sick setups. The Phil Sam hand was fucking crazy. That was an unbelievable hand. Sam made this nut flush, and Phil had quad aces. Number 2 against number 1, 3-handed. Really sick.
Still can't win.
Jason leading out 4-way on Jack 5 deuce. Reason to believe he get that one through. Doesn't need to get it through though.
Gonna trap you.
He picks up 2 pair. Even says he's trapping.
You have 6.
Yeah, it's
7.
6 or 7. Yeah, I think it's 7. Got you right where I want you, Phil.
Trapped him. Got him with the 2 pair. Jason. In a 99k pot. There it is. The spin up continues from 8,000 to 99,000. He's deuce tray. Ivey checks his king high over to Kahle. I'm actually going to bet this one.
Kerry, why won't they put your boy Richard in the Hall of Fame? Seymour.
He's happy checking it back.
And he just keeps bricking the Hall of Fame.
Obviously
and
playing
I'm
very
just like,
aggressive.
man,
Maybe he thinks
he's got to go
give
in.
Ivey some room.
I'm sure it's close. It's hard to get in.
Yeah,
They do what, 5 a year?
I guess so. Yeah, 5. I think.
I'm not surprised. Kahle has so many ace-X. More ace-X's.
Next year.
Phil having open under the gun. So he doesn't really have any 4s. I have to check back now. 5 repeats.
Maybe the gold jack is just going to be too big.
I don't think Phil thinks he can win this one. Here's king high. It has some fake showdown value.
He's a big boy. He's fit right now too.
Yeah, it is.
He goes 20. I don't see how this can work. Chaos decided to check back his 9s on this board. Wow, it does work. Way to go, Phil. But when KO check back flop there with that hand, it kind of means he has to call river. But Jason in the cut-off 6s. Raising up, Kahle defends Queen 8 and out flops the American on Ace Queen Deuce. Check to Jason, who probably wants to bet here. Don't make anything better fold or really anything worse call, but 6s need protection. Kahle can't really see any of the move but calling with a queen.
You gotta stop that, Kerry.
Sorry, I'm tired.
Me too. You better. I don't know why.
Really bad card for Jason. See any hands he was beating, now loses to. Except for perhaps some of those heart draws.
I've been getting about 5 to 6 hours. I get up at 8 o'clock every morning though. No, like clockwork, yeah. I can't go back to sleep.
8 a.m. here is 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Vegas time.
Like 8 a.m.
7:30, 7:15. This morning it was 7:15.
Way too early. Yeah, at least I'm not falling asleep until about 7.
When the sun comes up, I gotta leave my door open.
Jason thinking about doing something here.
I know. We'll just get the
Open from the cutoff of just under 20 bigs.
So I'm like,
And he's going after exactly the kind of hand that Kahle has, a queen. Well played, Jason.
she told me how to turn it off. I just turned it off.
Turning sixes into a bluff.
One and it'll stay off all the time. It doesn't turn on.
You miss air conditioning, man.
Yeah.
Ivan will be going nowhere with this hand. 6, 6, 10.
So break.
Ivan with a gut shot.
Are we changing tables?
Phil goes 35,000, and you hear that announcement at the end of the break. It will be the end of the buy-ins as well. Ivan not going to peel one off with his gut shot. Bluff indeed, but Ivan had just 8 high. So we send these guys back out onto the main floor. Phil Ivey, well, he turned up late, but he's had a fast start. Fresh off that second place finish in the 50k short deck, he leads the line on this table. Jason's spin up.
Plays the biggest games in the world, biggest cash games. And, you know, Addamo. Also just maybe
crushing
the hottest, yeah, in terms of results. Him and his fellow Aussie, Cal Burns, both just seem to win or final table everything. And yeah, at the same time, especially in a week like this, you're going to have a lot of, there's 5, 6, 7, 8 events. Guys are at short fields. You're going to see a lot of the same guys. But,
right.
But these are, you know, it's a special group here. And Artur decides to call. I mean, he could get away from a Yong jam if somehow, you know, he would flat his aces. So just going to flat here. It's not the most fantastic hand. Figures he's ahead slightly. There's extra money. The big blind ante in the middle.
Yeah.
Queen jack suited though. Looks
Close.
pretty strong.
It was close, this one. 48k more with a 6.
Looking to take out a great player and pretty good flop, a6. It's not what Queen jack had in my short deck. There would be a sweat here. It's not quite. It's clean to the river, 6 outs. Going to be about 14%. And not enough.
Good game.
GG, and then still rebuy?
No, that is it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because Netsov will have to wait. 50k short deck tomorrow. That'll be his next game, I'm sure. Same time as these guys, 8:30 in the morning. A bit early for you, Jeff.
I don't want to.
Gotta cut off the coffee now then.
Yeah.
Jack 7-6. All right, we see some cards.
Exercise before playing, actually. I've never
Jeff
done it
and,
before. This is the first time I've ever done exercise before playing.
Yeah. I don't want to like have to wake up early and then maybe get injured or something. Then
Yeah.
King jack suited.
likelihood of injury is
I mean,
probably
you
quite high.
don't really need
Backdoor
your
hearts,
hands to
got
play
position.
Poker. You can ask someone to help you, you know.
You could, yeah.
You don't need your legs to play poker as well, you know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Certainly going to want to bet this hand, yeah. And Bryn in the big blind with the 3 high flush draw multi-way
That was
pot.
8:30 to 4, right?
Yeah, roughly. But normally you just go up at 8:30, come down at like 11:30, 12.
Not an amazing spot, but
No.
just don't really feel like if you hit, you're going to get paid probably. Could be dominated, but still, you know, you defend out of the big and you flop a flush draw.
There's a rental shop right downstairs.
It's worth
so you can just
appeal. I mean, 3 or deuce could be good. Hard to imagine, but I mean, White King does have some
I don't have pants
some
for it, but I
stabs.
think you use any pants, right?
I mean, the
Wow.
life of
I
Bryn,
usually try and
clean.
get some waterproof pants because it's kind of slushy and wet. So if you fall a bunch or you sit down,
It's an interesting card though, because like the straights come 8-9, and both the obvious draws come.
waterproof pants.
Right, the primary straight draw and the flush draw both complete.
They're expensive anyway, pair of pants.
I mean, this is a card that why Yong definitely, if he could have said the worst card at 10 or 5 of spades is up there. And Bryn actually going to go ahead and lead out. It goes big.
And he's just making it really easy to get this in by the river, isn't he? 51. And a lot of hands White King bet to flop with really don't want to fold for a bet.
Yeah, I mean, the thickness, normal t-shirts might not be enough, but it's like 2 t-shirts, 2 normal t-shirts.
I'm a little
Great
surprised.
fold from White King.
Harder than everyone else. So
Wow.
this probably
Dialed in.
Bryn said called 3-way.
It's a fun table. These guys are chatting. We're just going to let him drop some knowledge.
There we
I feel
go.
like I know he's like punking me here because it's this tournament. Like, but maybe he just has a hand too. I could just have a hand also.
Like once every 2,000 years, you have
Yeah, exactly.
There's some pretty hands in Holdem. Short deck 7's not so much.
Yeah.
Jack 10 suited in the hijack. It is a little.
You don't need a hand if like the bluff gets through, right? It doesn't matter.
That's a pretty hand.
There
Just
you
gotta
go.
like, just gotta like target like bluffing people.
I'll tell you what though, this is where the game is won and lost at this level at these guys, because this is if you're perceived as a player that's not making moves or only has the goods. You know, this is a big difference. If you got a guy that's, you know, an Ivan Leow or someone who squeezes here, he might get that all in versus 7s. If you're a player that you can only have queens plus, or so, for example, not saying anything about Ramon or anyone, just saying these are where at this level where everyone's so good, when you kind of get pegged for certain spots in the ability, you can't.
Yeah.
You're just like, you know,
You cannot be on balance, is what you're saying.
you gotta really, yeah. And if you are, you're gonna get likely punished, or you're not gonna be able to get your max value. And you know, here's Seth. I mean, listen, this hand is this is pretty much a, you know, no option to fold. What are you gonna do? You can't really peel, and you're just gonna rip 7s like. And if you're Bryn now, though, it's heads up. You're fairly deep, and you're getting. It's still. He put some tax on it. It's not.
You've only got what, 2 stacked to pot up 2 if you're cool.
And again, this is where Bryn, if he thinks he's not bladed to aces and kings or queens, it's he could peel against ace king, ace queen, but probably doesn't have 9s. So now it's either, you know, it's really. Yeah, it's hard. The price was not so attractive.
High-stakes tournaments, I would ban people for wasting any time. Like, you know, if you run like a high-stakes tournament, you can make it invite only, invite every person, and just make the rules clear. If you break the rules like one time, like they never get invite again.
Yeah.
Michael on the button, ace 10 of diamonds, raising it up.
I just don't like the private game idea.
Bryn, ace king, suited in the small. No, he's just talking about tanking. This one he's going to think about before 3-betting. He goes just over 4x out of position. And Jeff, Michael just with a kind of hand he has to continue with against a small blind, right?
Yeah, it's one of those spots.
It's a little too good to fold.
Big sizing, very big sizing there.
And wow, what a flop for Addamo. Nut diamonds on 8-7-4, Bryn.
Yeah, this is interesting. These are the spots too. You see, these are. I mean, you could argue two of the top tournament poker pros. Better hand out of position. You can see how hard it is out of position. This is a board where you still got to feel pretty good, but it's not easy to control this pot. Do you fire? Do you take the lead? Do you check call? You know, this is where there's so many options, and it's interesting to watch these guys navigate these different situations.
Bryn deciding to bet this one. I guess not really making anything better fold, but makes the hand easier to play. And Jeff, it's a weird scenario here where Bryn probably has a slight range advantage even on this kind of board, right? Because he might 3-bet some of those kind of pseudo connectors from the small blind, and it's hard for Michael to call with the weaker ones, given the sizing, right?
Yep, we saw Jason Koon do the 8-9 suited earlier today in the similar spot, ran into kings, but you know, here his opponent also, if he has like queen jack or let's see, king, you know, those suited broadways that don't have diamonds or clubs, probably gonna go away. You know, what does queen jack of hearts do? What does queen 10 of hearts? What does ace 10 of hearts do? Or I'm sorry, of like spades, right? Are they gonna peel you out here? And this is a pretty good card for Bryn. Diamond would be a scary card. A queen jack 10 kind of scary cards, but here he's just
going again,
keeping the lead.
Going again. Is he just setting up for river shove here and really going to try and make Michael fold a better hand?
And Addamo is can't imagine. I mean, he's still got the nut flush draw in this spot. He's not going anywhere.
They're not going to say on the podcast they say Paul is the best because I never.
Really interesting sizing, but Bryn.
And that is quite the
That's
card.
a horrible
I mean,
card,
That
yeah.
is that is huge, huge spot for Addamo. I mean, you really can't hit Jin harder. The board is paired, but
Yeah.
as the hand's played, you just can't imagine that Bryn has 4s, 8s. Kings would be the one value hand, and he does have ace-king suited. But so now Bryn thinking, what's more likely? Does my opponent have a flush draw here, or is he calling down 5s, 6s, 9s? And he does go with the check.
Nice.
So he's leaving himself some...
Right, he's checked, but he's calling any bet here, isn't he?
Probably most bets. But this is the difference. You see people that maneuver bet sizings, they control boards, they make big folds, big calls, and yeah, you can't imagine he's going to fold for even an all-in. Well, I mean, it's like, is there a way out?
Right, it's a pretty grim spot. I mean, the 3-bet was a reasonable size. It's going to knock out a lot of hands.
I was probably just paying 1 cent, 2 cents on stuff back then. Yeah, me too.
He's going to see the bad news.
And that's it. Bryn's out.
Yep. Nothing. Can't blame him there. I mean, he even got to the river, controlled it, check, gave his opponent a chance to bluff.
There are some bluffs there, right? That he might try and do something like turn 5s or 6s into a bluff. Maybe try and make Bryn fold a bigger pocket pair. I don't know.
Yeah, it's I think it just comes down to if he's check folding there, it's like maybe too exploitable, but I don't know. I mean, guys make folds. I didn't think it was 100% call. I'd say it was almost certain. If you're enjoying, let us know where you are watching from. Got YouTube, we've got Poker Go, we've got Twitch. What part of the world are you in? How's it going? Are you enjoying? How about on number 1 if you are enjoying short deck more? Number 2 for No Limit Holdem. Been doing a mix of that. Here, Jason Koon in the background there looking to get on the board. He was down to 8,000, spun up his stack in the hundreds. Not sure how he's doing, but he's in, it looks like. And Addamo with a massive stack and a massive hand. They're big, they're black, and they match. 2 kings against a very good hand. This is a big spot here. I mean, this is a big blind, powerful hand versus a dealer button open. And I think, you could argue to flat, but you also just realize you're smashing that button open range. People are opening 6-9 and 7-4 suiteds and the whole range. So ace-jack suited is so big.
320, I guess.
320.
And Addamo has a decision here. Does he want to flat, or does he just think his opponent has a value hand? If he has ace-queen, if he has queens, jacks, ace-king, he's going to get it in. So this is, again, where knowing your opponent's so key. And guess what? I think he maybe realizes that I want to call him, let's call him Bosca, or Ramon. We go by Ramon or Bosca. He probably realizes he's got a pretty good hand, and there is some merit to just calling. You also avoid disaster. Sometimes you just get it in against ace-x, but more of a trap, right? You're just kind of trapping, hoping a good board comes, or your opponent's going to fire off with the lead when you have such a powerful hand as kings. And short deck, this aces come more often, and the kings to ace-king or kings to ace-x are pretty close equities. In Holdem, that's not the case. Pretty big lead, kings to ace-x, and we see the ace-jack suited hop into the lead here.
34.
And if you're Addamo, you got to hate to see this flop in the continued action. He's got the king of spades. I don't think he can just go. He's not going to go away for just one bet.
I can't use a driver anyway, so I just use the iron 5. Right?
Although it's pretty much very frustrating.
The first iron 5, I thought it was perfect, straight, pretty good distance. And then
I wonder without a spade if he ever folds, or he's still just going to hang on because he knows his opponents could have queens, jacks, 10s, take a shot just to try to end it. I mean, that's something. I'll tell you that.
Gets me every time,
Man. Whoa. And if you're Bosca, you get flatted. You're not really thinking probably kings at this point, right? That's you realize your opponent's capable of trapping a hand like that, but you may be more weighted towards. We just saw him call down the ace-10 of diamonds. He could have queen-jack of spades, queen-10 of spades, all those type of hands. King-x of spades, suited Broadway. And, you know, he thinks he's probably in the lead here still.
Sometimes get it so nice, and sometimes it's like,
0%. That is not a fun place to be when you have a good hand. Addamo looks like he's in the Matrix. He just pulled one in there. $70K. The pot's so big. You got to imagine
we just got into the
Addamo knows he's got his man here, right? Just don't see any reason to really raise, although board's dynamic. You have the king of spades even, just all the more likely that your opponent doesn't have some kind of random spade bluff.
5 days a week.
And you got second top set with the disguised hand, so, I mean, you're loving life. Yeah, just call, walk the dog, and it's going to be hard. A spade could save Bosca somehow, and that is a stone-cold brick. And if you're Bosca, I think you are in, I mean, look at the stack-to-pot ratio. He's got 137, 356 in the middle. You know, it's, there's no way out. There's no way out here. Yeah, that's got to be GG. I just don't see any other scenario. He could check and then can't fold to a shove. He's just going to shove, get snapped out, and he knows the bad news. Yeah, that's right.
Running hot.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Nothing you can do, as you said. Pretty sick hand.
Yeah, 3-up pretty triple off.
You know, Addamo goes, oh my goodness. I mean, come on. Guys, this is getting a little silly. He almost can't keep a straight face. Oh, no, okay, he's there.
Fucking has it, bro. It's a dangerous man, you know.
That is dangerous.
This motherfucker.
Short deck.
Although,
I feel this one. I feel pretty good about this one.
yeah, Soyza,
Don't worry.
2-1. Exactly, there you go. There's the odds on the table. 2-1. Didn't see any aces out of the thing. Straight draws, flush draws. There it is. There it is. The ace gets it done.
But still alright. Not too much.
It's like 202 or something.
Yeah, 2.
Addamo's still at the 9, but that would have been still 900. He would have had 1.35. But still, you know, it's just almost too good to be true. Wow. This shocks me. With Soyza flatting in that jam, I just can't. I'm shocked by the 100K call. What was he? What is that? That's
Trapped.
I don't know.
There you go.
Arthur gonna get an extra 100 on his money. He's getting to triple up potentially.
Worked out as good as it possibly could.
Triple up?
Wow.
Now we stepped in it.
Don't know about that 100K call. Arthur getting a ridiculous price on his money. He's got a double gutter, 2 overs, 14 outs at the turn, and a stone cold brick. Painful turn to brick.
Sorry? I feel it.
Oh, I can feel it. Yeah, I'm in the east one.
All right, welcome back. That's how those chip counts look. This is the more important thing. The prize money in this 100K super high roller. This is, of course, no limit Texas Holdem. These guys chasing that first prize, 1.5 million. Just 6 paid. You have 9 left. It's going to get messy. It's really leaving here with nothing. In fact, he will. I'll come back to that in a minute because Kerry Cat's ripping the button. Ace Jack.
Too fast.
Webster calls 8s.
That was very,
It's a straight flip.
very fortunate. I thought that was a big hand. First all in.
El Jefe misses the flop, needs an ace or jack on this run out.
Cost me a lot.
Or his run of cashes in the Millions Super High Roller Series will come to an end. He has been on fire this week, him and Aaron van Blakeren. Not to be. Well, I suggested this might take a while. We're down to 8, 2 to go.
It's 100 bucks.
Bet too little.
With the goods. And he's going to limp in under the gun. All right. Yeah, so 14, 15 blinds.
Just a limp, is it?
Here's just a limp. I can see the thought process in this, but I just don't think there are many hands you want to play from under the gun on an 8-handed table near the money or 15 blinds. But the theory being that he's going to have some hands like Queen Jack, King Jack, all these sort of suited high card combos that want to see a flop. Michael, happy to limp behind it, as you know, he's very dominant with ace deuce. Mateos happy to see a free flop with 9-5 of clubs. Wow, flops top pair and a gut shot draw on 9-8-6. Does decide to check it. Certainly a board that he could consider leading, given he has the widest range. This fits it a little bit more than the others. Deciding with top pair and a gut shot. That's good enough to go check calling with. And, well, Paul laid the trap pre and now is a little panicked perhaps by that board. Doesn't want to mess around anymore, decides to rip it in. Now he can have some hands, I guess like Jack 10, Queen 10 suited that may help fill in the bluffs in this spot.
Wow, misclick. Misclick. Want to raise free flop.
Ah, there we go.
20, been raised 20, 40.
That makes a lot more sense.
You got extra.
Got extra?
Well, I mean, he might have defended his big blinds, maybe it was the same, but...
Misclick.
Well, Matthias nodding there. I think if Paul had been raised pre-flop, Matthias
100% misclick.
would have peeled with 9-5 of clubs. He is very short, and he's in the small blind. Well, he goes for it, and perception maybe. Webster's going to be raised folding quite a few hands.
Yo.
That's not going to be one of them. Timing off for Heath. Can't fault him for this one. Sometimes the deck is just cruel, but he has a chance. 20% to double up, 80% to be out in 8th.
Yo.
Wow. Bad first card to see, but he ends up flopping the flush. Now a 2-1 favourite. Webster looking for the pair up. There it is. It's not quite done yet though. King of Hearts for the royal flush. Still an out, not to be. A red pitcher. From behind to ahead to behind. Ben Heath out in 8th.
-7, Baba.
That's how things sit. Pooper in the hot seat, 15 blinds, but 7-handed. Does give him a little bit of time. Eibinger, Burns, Soyza, Mateos, and Addamo all pretty similar, really. I mean, between 20 and 40 blinds. There's Webster Lim, who's got off to the fast start today, knocking out not just Ben Heath in that last hand, but of course El Jefe, Carried Cats, also fell victim to this man. Mateos Kings in the hijack. He's going to min raise.
Paul, do you have 5 for 600k?
620, I think.
I'm sure if it's stacked, it's maybe short.
Ace 4 of clubs on the button.
Slightly less.
I think given this
Why
7
80,
left,
80?
he's just going to fold this against the raise, but looks like he's happy to play.
590.
Does have position. Soyza, 7's in the big. Now, wow, this is a bit of a spot for him. There'll be 300k over in the middle. He only has 1 million chips. There you go, the risk of busting and the fear that Burns can still have hands like 8s, 9s, 10s. And he flats there himself. I'm not sure how like that is actually. Well, anyway, he does bill. We see 10, 10, 6. It checks to Burns on the button. He's going to stab 75k. He can have some 10x. He has those pairs, like I say, 7s, 8s, 9s, perhaps. So is there no reason for him to get out of the way just yet? Overpaired to the 6. And Mateos, of course, the same. 2 kings. Obviously, not quite as good as they were when you see it go bet cool. Still plenty good enough to be continuing with. Eight gives Soyza now a gut shot straight draw. This one will certainly check through now. Burns is not going to fire again. Does check through. There you go, Soyza. Runner straight. He probably has the strongest range on this board, the way this hand's played. He was the defender from the big. Check called flop. Certainly has the most 10s the way this has been played. He's going to bet at 125. And Matthias trying to piece together what hands he can beat of Soyza. Soyza check called the flop. And then wants to bet this river. Does he do this as a bluff with some random 6? Doesn't seem likely. Soyza just has a lot of strong hands. He can have 6, 7. He can have these 7s. He can have any of the 10s. He also has a small concern of Burns behind. He may have had a hand like Queen Jack, perhaps. It's a very tough spot. And as usual, with Mateos in a very tough spot, he gets to the right decision and somehow does the absolute minimum in this pot with kings.
Oh, what is straight 7s?
Serious?
Yeah.
I believe you.
I'm not sure. I have a 7. I had a 7.
Matthias under the gun, ace king, 19 blinds. Could just see him rip this one with the ICM consideration. Does elect for the more standard raise.
How much you start with, Matthias?
740.
exactly the same stack behind for Burns. He has that 40k already out there, so he covers by 1 blind. Throws in 2 of those orange 25ks, makes the call. Go heads up against the under the gun opener. And well, a very interesting board here. King, Jack, 5 open ender for Kahle. Top for Matthias. Matthias with a clear bet, not just because he has top pair, top kicker, but this is his board, King Jack 5, having opened from under the gun of sub 20. Sizes up a little. 100k into 240. That's some connectivity to that board, and Kahle probably peels this open a little tighter than most, so Eibinger believes he has less of the nonsense hands. So this bet more designed to target perhaps some 5x and some of those gut shots that are on there. I'm like 10-9. 5 on the turn. Again, obviously Kahle has more of those, but not as many as he would do if this was a button raise. He says, I have more of those. He's going to bet quarter pot, set his price for showdown. Pardon me, set his price for the river. And try and make Matthias fold some ace highs. Not trying to make him fold this hand, of course. Now, Matthias, with a hand this strong, may elect to jam. This is 650 and the ace 450 behind. There are draws there. He has to be slightly concerned about. And it's hard to imagine him folding many rivers, but he may elect to continue trapping. Call here and he can call some river jams. It's a nice hand to have, but he doesn't block any of the likely straight draws. Doesn't have a queen or a 10. Doesn't have a spade. So may weight Burns more towards those. Which makes it both a pretty good hand to jam with and a pretty good hand to call and then call river with.
Third or fourth, this is a 6th event, eh?
6th event, I think.
At least 4 lah.
Wow. Damn good.
First one I didn't bet anything lah.
Damn good.
Maybe 5, I don't know.
All in.
Decides protection on the bubble more valuable than chipping up, and I'll have to conclude I agree with that. Well, Kahle posturing, but he can't call off 440k with this straight draw on the turn.
Who bet flop?
I wasn't paying attention. I taking medicine.
You bet flop, I call, late turn.
All in.
Eibinger rips his 20 bigs from the button with ace deuce. Soyza, ace king of clubs in the small. Well, these have nearly a matching stack.
Wow.
And here we go.
It's not good.
It is not good for Eibinger. He is going to be all but out if this one goes to form.
Exactly the same me and Voga sang yesterday the hand.
I call.
Ace.
He covers.
Ace 2 cups.
Eibinger does cover by a couple of blinds. King 6-4. That one as good as it gets for Michael Soyza. Just needs to fade. Running straight or running deuces. Well, it's never easy. 5 now. Would send Soyza to the bubble. Oh my word. Oh my word. Eibinger a deep breath.
Life is hard.
Well, he's just a couple of percent on the flop. Ends up pulling in this pot 2.5 million. Addamo, well, he's trying to. I mean, I think he is actually a little bit sympathetic here for Soyza.
Voga sang and my hair also.
It's King suited.
On the button, I smoke black.
The bubble was
Also
effectively
diamond
burst in that
and
hand if it had gone the other way. Oh, Well, it came in, I believe, 9-9. He's still here, 6-6, but now in that money. And Kahle Burn's a little bit ahead of him. Matthias just ahead of him. And it is Eibinger now, courtesy of that pot, leading the way. But as you see, the blinds have gone up. The stacks have shallowed. Just 42 big blinds in the chip leader stack. But now we are in the money, as you see there. We can expect the action to go a little faster. We just have 1.5 for first. The saving grace for him is that Paul on the big blind is so short that he is disincentivized to call. Maybe that's why he thinks, albeit undergun 6-handed, he's going to have some raises that are sub all in because this man can't peel as wide in the big blind. Paul is, though, going to call with deuces. And the two shortest stacks go into a flop with a stack to pot ratio of just 1. And wow, what a flop this is. Set of deuces for Paul Phua. Top pair, top kicker for Burns. And this is going to be one of the ones where they just Hollywood as much as possible. Burns going to bet King 6 deuce near 100%. Decides he has to do so, of course, therefore, with top pair, top kicker, bets 1 blind. Paul doing the full acting job now. Nothing he can do but call. No reason to raise. Wants to keep in all the worst hands. Brick on the turn, as they all are on this board. Oh, checks again. Has 300k back, 450 in the middle. Burns with decision now whether to bet small here or just jam. Of course, he's going to have a lot of bluffs coming past the flop. Hands that he raised pre-flop but missed King 7 deuce. So if he's doing this with ace king, we can assume he's doing it with ace queen, ace jack. Although I'm still surprised he doesn't just jam all his hands from the seat. So he is going to go for a sizing that's designed to make life really tough for Paul. But Paul, with a set of deuces, life is easy. Just 170k more will be the jam, and that's what's surely coming now. Any second. I'll double check at the cards. This is a very peculiar hand. Through and through. Snap call, and he'll get the news he's drawing dead. 12 big blinds in play. We managed to get a pre-flop raise, a flop bet, and a turn check raise.
Sometimes.
Pardon me, less than that, of course. Paul started with 10 bigs, maybe even fewer.
3-10.
Well, that's a cold deck, no matter how deep you are. You see, pools starting the hand with less than 10 big blinds. Quite remarkable.
Be careful.
Eibinger thinking about
170,000.
exactly this. Here we go. So he's happy to take the shot with King 9, try and win the chips. But if he does double burns up, it's not a bad thing. He gets to continue applying pressure to everyone else.
哦，有一隻煙啊，煙三個開唔開啊？等我哋
Over
打
triple
我
up here. Be back in business.
Well, he can triple up.
開咗佢好多牌都抌。
And he's ahead.
對對
But he's up against
因為佢太
Matthias Eibinger. And we saw him hit runner a moment ago to stay alive himself.
Lucky I have an ace.
You have an ace?
Now you look good.
Don't care what comes, just none of his cards.
Not none so far. Just a king or a 9 will send Burns to the rail.
That's it.
Safe.
95.
Staying alive.
Back to 340k for the Aussie.
This is the start of the spin. One big blind and a dream.
Just short of 6 blinds now.
All in.
So only one option. Mateos snaps, finds a dominating ace-jack. Kahle in need of help. If he were to find a 3 though, look how things would change. He'd be up to 770. Mateos would be below the 500,000 chip mark himself. Well, there is a 3, but a jack rolled out with it. Burns reduced just to 2 outs.
Worse than breaking.
Heading to the Turner River.
Back bar wheel for chop.
One last card for Kahle Burns.
5 river again.
Not to be. He was in the walls today.
Some say next price jump. So little. Oh, 84,000.
There you go. 6th place does get that 252k payday. Everyone guaranteed 336,000 now.
All in.
There you go, Jeff.
He's going to exercise the option. And
Uh-oh.
this is one, if you're Webster, and you just don't have,
This
this
you
is
get
a
the
little
reward.
easier. You better tank a while like you did last time, because then it's like balance, like, oh, I have a really tricky decision. Maybe use a time bank.
This is the reward, Jeff. You fold the ace-jack. You make the good fold, the hand before, you know. And then they give her, the dealer goes, you know what, you did good. You passed the test.
Yeah.
Paul asking for ace-king.
Yeah, I think he saw the king. Oh, squeezing it out. Be happy to find the 6 behind it. This
Real squeeze there.
loves the game.
He says doesn't want ace-king.
Lucky no KK.
Lucky no kicker indeed. Bad news for Addamo. The Aussie
If I have king,
at risk,
king,
although we've seen bigger outdraws already on this final table today. Almost
Yeah, I mean,
the same
listen,
stack.
the king 8 suited looks like it's black. It's just got potential.
Oh.
Oh, pretty
well.
good flop for Webster.
Like the entry.
And Webster's just knocking them all out on this final table, it
Oh,
seems.
come on.
Oh, I
Not yet.
jinxed him.
No, but I mean, Addamo just, that board is bad for Addamo. He literally has only one path. He can't go running straight. He'd have to go running 8-8 or what we're seeing here, give a little sweat.
Ooh.
Max sweat.
The old
Max
blackjack.
I have a piece of him. That's why I wrote.
Yeah, you haven't covered, right?
Webster does indeed cover, which makes Addamo the 5th place finisher, picking up 336k. And as I say,
Webster make a correct fall against Matthias.
Webster bashes another one out.
Yeah.
through, but this is also pretty
All in.
pretty weak hand.
485.
And Paul, this is a spot where, he can get some folds from Paul. Paul doesn't want to call off so light here. This is a tough one.
Total 485, right?
Yeah, 6 blinds.
Yeah, don't know what to do.
I'm trying to think what I would do in this one. I mean, just because that is a 250 jump, you realize if you double him up, you're basically on life support, and he's then healthy. There's also going to be.
Well, he does make the call. I think it's just about right with King 7.
It feels right. I think I would do the same, especially Paul's just playing. Paul's not in there for the ladders. He wants to make the best decision. And
he's again asking Webster, was that the right? Was Webster the call there? King, I think, yeah, you just got a call.
Let's see the flop first.
Well, that's about as good as it gets for King 7 off against 3-4. Matthias with a deep sigh. Very little path back in this one. Wants a 5 or a 6 or a 3. Couple of outs. Jeff, he's got a chance.
6 wouldn't be an out. What running? He can't make a running straight, could he?
It became 5-6, right?
3-4. That would be a straight, yeah. Right.
We're all good, Jeff.
Wait,
it didn't come. Don't worry about it.
6-5. No, 6-5-4. Okay. Yeah, runner. We saw the one today.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They're going around, the runners, and it materialized there for a second.
Yeah,
3 on the turn.
You wanted a 6 or 5, not the 3. The running 3-3 or 4-4 would be quite something.
Well, Mateos picks up that 420k, 4th place. Everyone.
Okay.
There we go. Webster down to 26 big. Pool with 19. Matthias, the big chip lead, 60 big blinds, more than half the chips in play, but Jeff, a pretty, shallow stack, shall we say, for final tables, so it can change quickly, right?
This is fun to watch. It's fun to watch a guy like Eibinger work.
You go the 4x, and now the guy jams it on you with ace-10, whereas you jam, he's forced him to have to cool off with a hand like that.
Right. And you could just run ace-2 suited, ace-king suited, and
yeah, I guess when you're running that hot, you
just
think just rip the 8-6 in. If the guy finds the aces, probably just flop a straight, right? Well, we've got a classic showdown here. King 3 versus Deuce 3. Pool flops a gut shot straight draw on 10-6-5. Matthias going to follow up for a quarter of the pot. And I don't think Paul can fold for this bet.
Yeah, backdoor diamonds, small bet. Could even just get saucy, but he's the shortest stack. Realizes that.
Right, but a lot of the time here, Jeff, he gets the call. The turn probably goes check, and he can bluff a lot of rivers, right?
Yeah, no, I like calling better. Just thinking he's.
Yeah, but it's a candidate, right?
He's thinking about it. Having the low end gut shot's tough.
He can bluff some like 6s or 7s or 8s. Here we go, like that. That's only a card he could lead. Also, doesn't really have to. He can go check, and he can bet small on the river, rep a 7-8, 7-9 kind of hand. Interesting now, of course, their gut shot is a split.
Yeah, that works against Paul in the scenario. Somehow, that comes in. His path is to bluff here.
And now a 9 straight, but Paul has a lot of 2 pairs on this board, as well as, of course, some straights. So I feel like a little bet here. 150k, Jeff, something like that. 175.
Yeah, maybe 200, something to give a little extra on there. But yeah, it doesn't need to be much. 225.
Right, you want to broaden the range of hands you value bank by banging a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Well, he's gone a little bit bigger, in fact, 260.
Yeah. Not low.
Nice hand.
Not
nice
low.
Run out to bluff.
I snap folded. For some reason I thought he called and he said, nice play. Very nice. Let's see how he can fold it. At the same time, we see Eibinger really leverage his stack, and
Call.
Yeah, I don't think he could lay that down, and Paul's going to love to see it. Come on.
Ooh.
If you're going to get your title, Paul, you got to hold this, and you got to show us how to play this hand, because this is the one that
Queen.
we just, yeah.
On my team.
On our team, Paul. Come on.
Ace queen, ace jack.
Like all these guys, but I'm officially out on ace queen. I'll do some weird stuff in the future with ace queen.
Paul's going to get it done.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
King, king,
Even
three.
even this happens too. It seems like a lot. The
Three.
chop, you know, like it
Three on the turn.
and Eibinger's got the spade too. I mean,
Yeah.
oh man,
Eibinger
Paul's
will take a
focused
3
today.
at this point in time.
Oh, that's a
Oh, he'll
clean
take a
one.
4.
Hey, Stampede.
Paul.
Paul will get a double up and become
Paul's
chip
gonna win
leader.
4 out of 5. Paul's focused. Eibinger. There's a lot of cards Paul's thinking of.
Okay.
Wow.
There it is, Jeff. 10.
Paul.
Phua finally shows us how to do it with ace queen.
That was beautiful. I'm putting
Late
it
in the
down.
week, someone's brought that hand home, and all of a sudden, you have a new chip leader here in our 100k super high roller. It is the boss, Phua.
Getting what, 8 to 1. It's asking for a lot to go right, but I don't know. What you probably throw in the bin there.
Yeah, I think it's just a little too weak.
Yeah, probably 8-5 is suited, and so here he is. He's gonna.
It's going to work out here at the moment anyway. Faces a 1 big blind bet
Paul.
from the limper.
And you got Paul with top pair.
Pardon me, of course, Paul with top pair behind us. It's working out at the moment. It's obviously ahead of Eibinger. But yeah, of course, Paul checked the option with his queen. Wow. Well, it's going to work out here, Jeff, because there's a better hand behind, but I'm not a fan of the complete with 8-5, but if we do complete, and we flop second pair on this board, and we check to the button and he bets 1 blind, we have to call. But in this instance, he gets it right.
Yeah.
Paul's lurking behind with top pair. And this was a sort of one little stab from Eibinger, right? Not going to follow up with king high, no draw.
No, this is designed likely to get to like this situation, then even gets a pull, free pull at a king or 6. I mean, 6 could be good too,
Right.
but a king in his mind, you know, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense to just go rifling off here with no real equity spot. You think, but then again, you got times where, and you see like some crazy play. I would be shocked anything but that, and you know, this has got to feel good for your Paul. Get to realize that there's not a lot of value hands he's going to do this and then just check back the turn with.
Right, and it's a interesting spot for Paul, whether to bet or check here.
I don't mind. I think he might check. Actually, I don't know.
I
I'm
kind
not
of
sure.
lean towards the betting, but
With the weakest queen, but yeah, what does Eibinger get super tricky? What would he do? Would he ever bet like a flush and then check back? Doesn't make sense, right? You're gonna want to
Yeah.
get value out of the queens and protect unless it's a nut flush. So it's like,
I like the sizing as well. It's gone 225, pretty small. He has a lot of, Paul has a lot of hands that
I guess
might
that's-
want to continue some like gut shots with a heart. Might want to bluff the river. Doesn't have too many strong hands. So kind of resort to go small sizing. And look at this Eibinger me try and hero it off here with king high, right? He thinks, well, maybe Paul's got 4-6 with a 6 of hearts. 3-4 with a heart. Doesn't think he has too many queens. He's Paul might bet a queen on the flop.
a big decision actually in terms of the pot and what if he loses 225 more, gives Paul 225 more. I mean, this would be some real separation, even though it doesn't appear like that big a deal. But it's also if he gets he relinquishes this pot and he was good, so he is going to make the call.
Wow.
And
I can see why.
Yeah.
Jeff, like I say, 3-4, 3-6, 4-6, all with a heart. These kind of hands. I think maybe expects Paul to bet some queens on the flop. Doesn't expect him to bet a 5.
Yeah, this is a big flop for both players. I mean, Webster, if you're Webster, you could be thinking about
Yeah,
ripping
it
it.
goes all in. I think it's just a good spot for Paul to call. I don't think you can fold this hand.
please.
Like I say, the bluffs are 5-6, 5-7, deuce 5. You've got all of them in pretty bad shape. The value hands, yeah, he might decide to check raise a 4 because it's so vulnerable. You do okay against a 4. You've got a gut shot and you've got 2 overs.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately the decision. The problem with the thinking, it most likely as a 4 because you block the 5-6, 5 deuce, and you can't put him necessarily on that. Although those are the most obvious draws, it makes some sense. I think you just think he has 4x.
But there's a lot of them, right, Jeff? The 7-6, the 7-5, the 5-6, the 5 deuce. Yeah, we do block them. There's a lot of combos if he
But
has one
still,
of
it could
the
be,
three
yeah.
fives.
Man.
I mean, this just has to be a call. I mean,
I think so, but I think how Paul's approaching it and what he's I just think I don't know. I don't know if I agree it is, especially when he bets, puts out the bet and gets check raised. So what he's calling.
Jeff. I think he's going to get there in his mind that he realizes this is a spot he has to call. There we go. He's starting to mention the hands.
He's got him in. This is a big decision, big moment here. If he can
Webster,
get
you
this.
just never get anything off. Look at him. He's just check raised all in with 7 high, playing for $1.5 million. And there's not an expression on his face for his body. Look at his neck there, Jeff. There's
Nice
nothing. And
call.
Paul does make the call.
Wow.
Here we go.
Great stuff all around.
And it
Man,
took a little
it's
time
high
to get
level.
there, but I love it.
Sorry, brother.
Sorry, brother. It's not over, Paul.
He
Come
has
on,
the
you played
bluffs in
enough.
really bad shape. That's what makes this such a good spot. Way better than, say, if he had ace-king.
Right.
And here we go. Paul with a chance to take a huge chip lead into heads-up play. Or will Webster level things up?
Dodges the turn. That was scary.
Yeah. A lot of pips on those cards.
Yeah.
Just trying to fade a 7 or a 6 with one more card. And there we go. This man, if it bricks out, he'll have his largest career cash.
And
There it
Paul
is.
does it. Great hand all around. Nice play by both players. Paul sorting it out and then.
Will you call that? Block the 5, huh?
It's a hard decision. Hard decision.
It is.
Block the 5.
Yeah,
Huh?
Well, we shall see about that. Paul hopes he doesn't go in runs. Eibinger winning his first hand for a while. No, he's going to probably win this one. Ace-9 against Ace-5. Paul's been ripping. He needs to not rip this one, Jeff. Well, he has ripped it, and I don't think Eibinger. He's going to call Ace-9, isn't he? You've been jammed on this many times.
Uh-oh, Paul doesn't like to hear that, because that means if it's like, you know.
I'm going for it.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's an S2.
Well, there we go. I mean, there's no way Eibinger could fold that with the amount of times Paul have been jamming. Paul behind.
Yeah, behind.
But his shot to win his title. Needs a 5. Eibinger will
S5,
get up to
S9.
4.8 million if he holds. Ace,
yeah,
King, 7. All right, there are some chop chances here. King on board. Pair the 7, pair the next card would also be a chop.
Not really. I'm a mathematician. Be confident.
3.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, that's not the one he wanted to pair up.
You need to hope for
Card above a 9.
9, 10, Jack, Queen split. King, Ace. Oh, big card.
9 or above.
冇得贏啦.
Deuce.
Big card. Yes.
There
chop.
it is. Ace is full.
Both have full house.
You should have been confident, Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah.
He will defend, and suddenly stack to pot ratio is getting very shallow. Just 2x the remaining pot, and wow, top and bottom for Paul. Third pair backdoors galore for Eibinger.
Yeah.
Like it goes small on the C-bet. Interesting though, I mean, Eibinger I don't think has too many hands that completely miss Ace-9-8 peeling off his stack size. I guess there are some suited kings, suited queens that may fold for that kind of sizing. But of course, for top and bottom, we're not looking for folds. We can go a little unbalanced. King on the turn, not a card Eibinger likes to see. It's red, but it's not a heart. Paul's just going to follow up here, and that should be the end of this one.
Yeah. Paul, they call it dead man's hand. Ace-8 suited flops, a very nice flop. You got to feel just over the moon about this spot.
Yeah, and you get cool on that flop. Come on. Trying to end it here. And it's the second time we've seen this kind of board. Last time it was ace-9-6. This time it's ace-9-8. Where Paul's fired the second barrel. And Eibinger's going to be forced to fold. It was a flop third pair.
Yeah, Handsy's beating 10-jack, 10-queen, queen-jack, but that's about it.
Blocks
And
them.
yeah, exactly. The 10 in his hand's not good, and I mean it's just. Whoa.
Well, I'm kind of surprised.
This is.
He continues once more.
He has 0%, and he's calling it down. These guys, it's kind of like saying he just doesn't believe him, but I mean.
Right. This is like one last call here. Really hard for Paul to bluff the river. Obviously, Paul just going to take a little bit of time before moving in for Eibinger's remaining 970K.
Super clean.
The old double check of the cards.
I guess to be fair though, you know, he doesn't have a diamond in his hand. He doesn't have the 10 has hurt him, and Eibinger hates to see that. He would love to see a give up, but not the case. And
I just think the 10's such a bad hand, Jeff, to call the turn with.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could think his opponent could have like 6-7 too. He did raise pre though, right? 400. So
on bet. I mean, I don't want to second guess Eibinger. The guy knows what he's doing in poker, but just it appears to me as an interested observer, the 10 is not the best card to have in your hand here. Maybe he's just had enough of it. Paul's been bashing away. We've seen Paul's had some hands. I say the action was the same 2 hands ago.
Eibinger, I'll tell you when he calls the turn though, he's putting out a third of his stack remaining at that point. He's making a statement that he thinks he's good. He's not looking to hit a 10 or an 8. And Eibinger in the tank.
Wow, he says I don't believe you. He makes the
Oh.
call. Paul Phua is the winner.
Holy, he did it. He's got his trophy.
He's got it, Jeff. He's done it. He wins this title. The smile beaming across his face. There it is.
Yeah, after 5 years.
After 5 years. Eibinger picking up $1 million for second.
Wow.
No shame in that. Said, I don't believe you. I'd have enough of this.
Look at
Things
that
are going
smile.
Paul's way, but that is
Look
it.
at that. That is a man that is happy for this trophy. Paul gets it done. Got to be. I mean, yeah. What are you gonna say?
There it is, Paul. Super high roller event winner, Paul Phua. He's done it. At long last, he gets his trophy and his title. Not to mention the $1.5 million, but I don't know which one he cares more about right now.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Eibinger put on the cape. Didn't believe Paul Phua. This time, he was wrong. Eibinger out in second, 1 million and change. But Paul Phua leading the Malaysians to victory this time. He came second the other day. Today, one better. And, well, Jeff, it's almost like an honor to be calling the action when Paul finally gets it done.
Too much fun.
Oh, I feel so happy, you know. After 4 years, finally, I win another one. And with so many friends around, I'm so happy and also very tired. So I've lost many heads-up match, but I think 4 or 5 for the past few years. So finally, you know, I work a little bit harder, you know, it pays off, yes.
3 and smile.